video, I'm going to show you how to set up a basic submission job using our integration tool, Sync and Save. The first thing you'll do is, of course, download the program. Once you've done that, you will then launch the program, and here at the top you'll see several options: submission job, lookup table job, dispatch job, and GPS job. Depending on which features of Sync and Save you have, you may or may not see all of these different job types. To do the submission job, we're going to click on this button here, and it will pop up with a window for a web service ID and password. You'll get this information by going into the doForms website in your account and going to Manage Web Services. Here you'll see a list of existing web services as well as their passwords. If you need to add a new one, you can click Add Service, choose the project as well as the form, and it will generate you a custom web service ID. You can copy this, create the password, and hit Add. Or if you have an existing one, you can highlight it, copy, and paste into the web service column, and then enter the password. Then you'll click Next, and it will ask you to provide a name for the job. This can be whatever you want. I'm going to name this Submission Test. Then we'll click Finish. It'll pull up the format where you will set what type of file this is going to be exported as, or what type of database you're going to export to, the formatting of the fields that you want to pull. You can also view submissions. You can run this job on a schedule. It will show you data errors. You see the log here, and you also have advanced settings. First, from settings, we're going to choose the target type. For this example, I'm going to use Excel. Then I'm going to choose the target folder, where I want this file to be exported to. I'm going to choose Integration Webinar folder. Here, the worksheet will be titled Results. You can change this if you want. I'm going to leave it as is. You can also choose to add a date and a time to the file name. Here, the Start At date. This is where you will choose how far back you want to start pulling submissions from. If you want a start date and pull from that date to the current date. Clear Download List will remove any previous runs of this job you have done. That way, it will pull records once you reset the start date. Under the Format tab, here on the left, you'll see a list of all of the fields from the form that you can pull over. And you can drag them one by pulling over and dropping it here. Or you can click Add All. If you put one in by mistake, you can double click on it and click backspace, and it will delete that field. If there's any attachments, you'll click the Attachment tab and choose where that attachment is from. If it's a PDF report or Excel report. So going back to the fields, we're going to choose some of the fields from the form to pull over into an Excel file. So I'm going to pull the basic information: name, city, street, state, and zip code. And I'm just going to pull those fields for now. This here, submissions, allows you to pull a selected date range, as opposed to here where you set a starting at and it pulls everything from starting at to current. Under this submission tab here, under the Format tab, you'll choose a specific date to start and a specific date to end, and then you'll click run export, and it will only export within that range. Otherwise, you'll hit run job and it will use the start at date. So once we have all the columns we want pulled over here and any attachments we want in here, then we'll choose whether or not we want to run this on a schedule. If you check the box, you can choose which day of the week, as well as how often, up to every minute, though that is a bit excessive. You can set that to 60 minutes, or you can change it to run on hours, and change this to every hour or every 5 hours. You can also choose when it runs, between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., etc. Again, these are just preferences, so you would set these to whatever you would want. And under the Advanced tab, you can choose to have it send you an email notification each time the job completes. Here, you would need to know your SMTP server settings. Then you can hit OK to save that, or if you don't want that, you can leave it unchecked. Going back to the settings icon, once you've set your format here, then we'll go ahead and run the job. Here at the bottom, you'll see the status as it's going, and then it will pull up job completed. If for any reason the job fails, it will say job failed, and it will tell you a brief description of the issue. If it's not enough information, you can click on the data errors, and it will give you more information on the error so that you can attempt to troubleshoot. But here, the job as run is complete, and it tells us the worksheet is named results. There were 5 submissions downloaded, and 5 submissions exported, and 5 records created. So if we hit OK, OK, and go to the folder where we sent this file, you'll see here, results. Then if you open the file, it pulled the fields that we selected, as well as all of the information from the records. And that is how you set up a basic submission job. Thank you for your time.